Finding jobs here in Canada for new immigrants can be a bit daunting as they begin to transition from their role back in their home country into the role here in Canada. It becomes a bit difficult for them to get into the work stream or the job role that they actually desire here in Canada. Sometimes they have to navigate into what we call survival jobs for them to keep that bill rolling until they begin to find that role that they're looking for. And this kind of roles can be a bit discouraging for new immigrants as they are very optimistic coming into a place like Canada, trying to bring in their skill sets, their experience, and also trying to build the economy of Canada, and they are faced with survival jobs. How easy is it to survive on a minimum wage? And we understand that here in Canada, the minimum wage also varies from province to province. Like in Saskatchewan, our minimum wage here is $13 per hour, and in October 2023, it will be moved to $14 per hour. Can a new immigrant or anybody in Canada survive on a minimum wage? Let's find out. With a minimum wage of $14 per hour, which gives you an average of about $27,500 gross income in a year, and that is gross. Net will be about $19,300, and on a monthly basis you'll be going home with $2,200 gross, which is about $1,600 net every month. Of course, here in Canada, we have expenses waiting to take up this $1,600 that you have just earned in a month. You have your phone bills, you have your heating, you have your electricity, you have your car insurance if you have a car, or you take your bus pass that you're buying every month. You have your rent, and you have your internet that you have to pay for. What else have I not mentioned? All of these bills are waiting to swallow up your $1,600. So can someone really survive on a minimum wage here in Canada? Well, it actually depends on your family size, it depends on your budget, it depends on who you are. Let me make an assumption with a family of 4 that has the father and the mother on a minimum wage of $14 per hour, which means they are going home with a net pay of $1,600 per month. Both of them will be $3,200, and these expenses are meant to be paid off. Know that you can't defer your expenses here in Canada, because if you defer, you'll be paying extra amount on it as interest. So that means you don't want to incur more costs on whatever has been given to you as your bill. I forgot to mention groceries as well, which is also an expense. You have to eat now. Won't you eat? That means this family of 4 have to look for an apartment building that is moderately priced. I know right now finding a place to live here in Saskatchewan is really difficult. I have a few immigrants that just landed, and we're looking for house and accommodation for them. It's really a daunting task. It's been difficult because cost of accommodation have greatly increased, and if you're looking to renting a 3-bedroom apartment right now here in Saskatoon, you'll be looking at paying about $1,800 for that, and a 2-bedroom goes slightly between $1,400 and $1,600, and that's really expensive for a new immigrant that is just starting life afresh. Your average utility bill, such as if you're going to be paying for your internet, it depends on what provider you are, you probably pay nothing less than about $60 per month. And for heating, if you are in the winter, you'll be paying close to about $60 as well. For your electricity, that also ranges around that amount. It depends on how you use your electricity. For some apartments, heating is also included in the bill, but if it's not included, you'll be paying that out of pocket. For groceries for a family of 4 in this time that we are, and I'm just being moderate with this particular amount, you'll be spending about $500 in a month, and that's just being moderate for a family of 4. What else haven't I mentioned on expenses? So let's put these numbers together. I'm going to be using my calculator. If we have a 3-bedroom apartment for about $1,800, and you have your electricity for about $60, and you have your Wi-Fi for another $60, let's assume that your heating is included in your cost of renting of 1,800, so that will be moderate. And then for the month as well, you're paying for groceries, which is about $500. I already have $2,420. Don't forget that this family of four earns an income net of about 3,200. Let's take this out of that 3,200. So they are left with $780. They will be taking the bus. Let me assume as well that they don't have a car, because you also don't want to incur more costs. You're looking at paying insurance if you're using a car, or you're buying gas in your car. That's also very expensive. So let's assume that they have another $200 to cater for their bus passes for their children and for themselves. So I'm going to take this out of this. So they're left with $580 that they have to probably save or keep as emergency. This is on a minimum budget, and I know that there's still some little expenses that will still take off this cost that I probably have missed. So can someone really live on a minimum wage here in Saskatchewan, Canada? I would say it is possible for a very short time, and that means one or both of them have to quickly and really fast look for something better that would augment this income. You can do skip the dishes, you can do some deliveries, you can do grocery delivery, you can do some other things off the hours of work that can add up to this amount. But you also want to be careful, because I'm not a proponent of someone working two jobs, because it also comes down to your taxes, and then you eventually see that more money is deducted during the tax season. So I am not a proponent of that. I would advise that someone gets one job, so you also have time to spend with your family and be able to use those 8 hours just for work. If you're on a minimum income, I just have this few advice for you. Create a budget for yourself, and you have to be strict about this budget, because that means you don't have any money for any other thing. You can't be lavish, you can't be extravagant, you can't just be doling money or just buying things that enter your eye. You must be very strict about your budget. That means understand what goes out from your income as expenses. All of this that we've kind of just calculated with a calculator. Give a rough estimate of what your income will be and what your expenditure will be, and then begin to plan on the remainder for any unforeseen expenses that may come your way. And you also want to be very careful, so you can't be found amongst those that will be buying things randomly without plan. So you must create a budget. Personally, even after 3 years of staying here in Canada, we also have a budget, and I always have an Excel format. I've had that from the beginning of when we landed here, because I just wanted to have an idea of how much we spend in a month, how much goes into all the things that we spend money on in a month, and what comes in as income. So I jealously keep this expense sheet so that I'll be able to be guided by how much we're spending. Are we spending so much on buying clothes, or are we spending so much on grocery? Are we spending so much on, some things that we can actually cut down on? Because all your amenities, such as your heating, your Wi-Fi, your electricity, you can't do nothing about them, but you can streamline on other things. So that helps you stay on track so that you don't overspend. I'm going to share in another video what our monthly expenses is, at least an average of what it is. It has greatly changed and increased now that we're in a new home, and we're paying on mortgage, and now we begin to pay on property tax and all other expenses like water that we were not paying for when we were renting. All of these things have increased our budget, so I'm going to be sharing that with you in another video. Another advice for you is that you should still save, because I understand the money is not enough, but if you don't save, then it will still not be enough. But you have to cultivate that habit of saving whatever you have that is left. Or you can put, even if it's $100 that you want to save every month, put it aside as savings. And you need to find a bank that gives you interest on that savings. Don't go and put your money in a bank that will charge you monthly fee, or a bank that will charge you annual fee. This will eat into your savings. So please find a bank. I use EQ Bank. They have high yield interest savings. So the link is in my description box. If you're interested, you can click the link. It's an affiliate link, and I'm going to be paid a commission on that link if you use it to open an account. So note that. But you want to help your girl, right? So go click that link and begin to enjoy increase in percentage on your savings. I would also say for now, you need to hold on any insurances or retirement savings plan, because these are monthly deductibles and it's difficult for you to continue to pay these deductions if you don't have an increase in that income that is coming in. So you don't want to use all your 10 fingers, like they say, to eat. You must be able to save. There's no amount of money, I say that all the time, there's nothing that you have that you can't put something away. So as much as you begin to plan on how to save, then when you have more, it won't be difficult for you to know how to save more. But if you eat up all that you have, remember that this is not from your home country. People don't borrow people money here. You can't run to one uncle, one auntie and say, please, I need X amount to be able to make up my rent or to maybe feed my family, because you're also seen as going and coming and you're working. Nobody cares to know whether you're on a minimum wage. You have to make sure that you're changing that status quo for yourself. So try and make things turn around for good by doing extra or looking for better paying job that would help you make things a bit more easier. So save, save, save. I also advise that you set up direct deductions from your account if you have to pay your bills, your utility bills, Wi-Fi, heating bill, or your electricity bill, and all of those bills that you pay, so that you know that you are keeping this money and then this is deducted, because sometimes you might forget. If you forget, you know this is additional cost if you don't pay those bills as at when due. But when it's a deductible that is directly taken off from your account, you don't have to worry. Then you can know that, okay, let me leave this amount. You just have that understanding that this is going to be deducted from this particular account. Then you leave the money there and you do not touch it. That also helps you to plan properly with your expenses. Another advice is that please use your credit card, especially for your grocery shopping. I know you can't really, I'm not sure if you can really use credit card to pay bills, but you can use your credit cards to buy grocery, buy your bus passes. You can use that to make some expenses. So use your credit card and continue to build history. As you use it, please be mindful that whatever you're using, you have capacity to pay back. Don't spend what you don't have. That is what we were brought up with, and that's what we know from Nigeria, because we don't really operate on a credit system basis. We spend our debit card. So what you don't have, you don't spend. So don't think that a credit card is free money for you to go spend. Know that you are building credit history by using it. And that's important because you need it for sometime in the near future. So use your credit card if you're given one and pay back as at when due, so that you don't incur more expenses or more debts on yourself. Good news here is that as a low-income earner under $30,000 per annum, you're entitled to some government benefits. So you also have child benefit that will come in, you have health benefits, you can have some income support that will still come in from the government because you're earning low. Make good use of this money. You can apply for those income supports because you're a low income earner, and as soon as you move from that threshold, you know that those monies will not be coming into your pocket. Or as you increase your income to some particular level, income for child benefit will continue to reduce as well. So you have GST or you have climate change, some are paid quarterly, some are paid every month. Make good use of it and also save with this amount. Ensure that you're saving, which is most important. Ensure that you're saving for the rainy day, because I say this all the time, life in Canada here is not guaranteed. If you lose your job, would you be able to make sure that all this expenses keeps going? Because your landlord does not want to know whether you don't have income coming in. You're using heat, you're using electricity, you're using your Wi-Fi. They care less whether you have income. Even as new immigrants, when you move in without an income or without even starting a job yet, you begin to pay these bills. So nobody sends you. So you must be careful that you're keeping all this additional income that you are earning so that you will be able to use them when you need it. So find as much of those government benefits that would help augment your status quo, and don't sit there, because even government benefit is just for low income earner, and I'm sure you want to earn more. Trying to enjoy those benefits for now, try and look for other avenues to increase your income. If you have other skills within yourself that can also help you to increase this income, please make sure that you do. There are people that barb. You can barb even within your neighborhood. You can let people know that you barb without opening a shop. If you make children's hair or female hair, or you can fix, or just make makeup, you can do so many things with your hands. You can cook, you can bake, you can sell stuff. Please make this as a side hustle, so that you can also increase your income for the family. As a low income earner, you can still live a good life with that amount by augmenting with all of these things or tips that I've shared with you to be able to increase that income for your household. As you consider all these tips that I've shared, know that living on a minimum wage is possible. And if you are such a person that have a high taste, or you desire much more, you must obviously increase that band for you to be able to accommodate other expenses into your budget. Please try and live within your means. Here in Canada, it is really important that you live within your means, so that you'll be able to enjoy all that Canada has for you as a new immigrant. Thank you for watching. If you have any tips or any suggestion based on what I've just said, put in the comment section, and also let others learn how to be able to live comfortably on a minimum budget here in Canada. Thank you for watching, and see you again in my next vlog. Bye guys.